What is up, everybody, and welcome back to yet another RuneScape 3 Ironman progression update. I know I'm a little bit behind on getting prepared for Necromancy, especially as an Ironman, so my goal is to get at least some of the needed items today. On screen, you'll see a list of things I have to get prepared for Necromancy, along with the items that will be most helpful for the combat skill. Clearly, I still have a lot to collect. In this episode, I'll have to gather some supplies, go on a side quest, and even stop a kidnapping plot. Without further ado, let's get things started. I'm returning to the green dragons out here in the wilderness, where I collected a good bit of dragon bones. Oh, did I mention I also got 60 defense? I continued on to the Taverley dungeon. I had no choice but to slaughter all the baby blue dragons. Their baby bones are going to be very essential for Necromancy. I need to return to the chicken pen as well, so I decided to go to Lumbridge since there is a closer bank. I used some of my magic for an AoE to collect as many chicken bones as I possibly could. Finally, it was time to head over to the Hill Giants in Edgeville dungeon to gather the big bones. I used magic since it was clear they are weak to it. That brought me my magic up to level 55. After that, I went over to Betty's Magic Emporium to get Batwing armor and spider silk ropes. This will help me upgrade all my Necromancy armor in the future. I know, I still have a few more quests to complete for Necromancy. However, I chose to start the Stolen Hearts quest. Why, you ask? This brings me closer to Menethos. This will allow me to have a faster fishing method. Now I'm heading to Draenor Village to speak to Ozone, the thief, about the Stolen Hearts quest. He informed me of the gang called the Skulls and directed me to go to the building down in the basement and chat with Num. Num asked me a bunch of questions about my own thieving skills and tells me to meet him at the Skulls headquarters. Of course, he doesn't tell me where exactly to meet him at the headquarters, so I followed him. I ended up finding him at the old abandoned prison. Upon entering, he was not too fond to see I had been working alongside Ozone. While Ozone and I confront him, Leela appears and thinks we are members of the gang Skulls. As a result, Leela almost shoots us with her crossbow. When she realizes we aren't part of the gang, she explains her situation, and turns out Num is plotting to kidnap the Prince of Alcarid. Once we got the best of Num, he reveals he is simply a henchman working for Lady Kelly. She was supposed to leave by ship on the south coast of Draenor along with their captor. I head south along the coastline to catch up with the kidnappers. She keeps the prince hostage while she tries to get her mercenaries to get the upper hand on us. We defeat them, of course, and find a ransom note. Leela really wants the prince back and has to send word to her father's spymaster, Osmond. Unfortunately, her father won't trust Ozone or me. She gives me the passphrase to ensure safe entry into Alcarid Palace. We arrive at Alcarid, attempt to get into the palace, but the guards refuse to entry as the palace is currently under lockdown. We end up breaking into the palace through the roof, and eavesdrop through a window, and negotiations taking place between the king of Alcarid and Menethos, who wants to put a Menethite on the throne, not the Prince of Alcarid. We also hear talk of a kidnap and ransom regarding the Prince of Alcarid. Of course, the king wants the son back, but he does not want the Menethos to start a war. Unfortunately, the only ransom he cannot provide is the heart of the sun. Ozone and I head over to steal the heart of the sun, but we are caught by the spy master himself. Following a quick explanation, I say a passphrase which helps him believe our story. We hand over the diamond, which still cannot be used as a ransom, and I brought it to the Emir. Emir dies, but the spy master lets us go free. He even allows Ozone to be a citizen again, and just like that, another quest complete. For this quest, I was rewarded 250 combat experience, 250 agility experience, 250 thieving experience, 250 constitution experience, and 2,500 coins. I can also talk to Num in the jail if you want more thief titles. I finished this episode with 41 quest points. Oh wait, before we go, I did return to Anacronia to improve our base camp. I improved my sleeping quarters to allow me to have even more workers, and I set my workers to gather supplies for the town hall. Hopefully by next week, I'll have town hall level 3, which would be great because I can have even more workers and have more storage, which means I can improve even more for Slayer and other things. Also headed over to Herbie Werby, but after taking the agility course, I received a codex page. This is great because I can use this at a lectern to create a double surge and double escape codex, which will allow me to basically surge twice and escape twice, which is amazing. Now, to continue our journey back to Herbie Werby, upon arriving and doing the minigame, I got to 34 herb lore. But that's pretty much it for this week's episode. But before you go, here's the banking stats for this week's episode. I know I wasn't focusing on leveling, but I do feel I got a good chunk of bones for the next week's biggest update of all. I can't wait to see what Necromancy brings to the table for us. But that's it for me, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.